But up first tonight, team coverage on that guilty verdict for A.J. Armstrong, Grace White and Adam Bennett, both at the courthouse today when that verdict was handed down.
Adam, defense attorneys are calling the new blood evidence introduced at this trial, quote, ridiculous, and they filed a lawsuit.
Lynn, that's right. They're referring to blood found underneath an HPD visitor sticker placed on Armstrong's shirt by police hours after the murder. Its discovery in June led to a 7-week-long delay in this trial. Yesterday, Armstrong filed a civil lawsuit alleging that police planted that blood evidence. So while that civil case plays out, this criminal case reached a verdict today.
Cause number 1546111, the state of Texas versus Antonio Armstrong Jr. We, the jury, find the defendant, Antonio Armstrong Jr., guilty of capital murder as charged in the indictment. It's signed a foreperson of the jury.
Armstrong was stoic as the judge read those words, and as he was taken into custody, his wife was crying in the courtroom. Many of the family members who have supported him through the last 7 years appeared emotional as well. 2 previous trials ended with deadlocked juries. I asked Armstrong's lawyer why he believes the outcome was different this time.
So every trial is different. Every jury is different. It's impossible to predict from a last trial what's going to happen in the next trial. So it's just the risk involved in jury trials. Anything can happen. They're different people. And the other thing is the prosecution knew everything that we were going to do. And you know, it's very difficult to do it twice. It's almost impossible to do it 3 times.
DeToto told us both Armstrong and his family are devastated. He said Armstrong's family will rally and help AJ, his wife, and young son get through this. DeToto told me Armstrong has already filed a notice of appeal, though he'll need to find a different lawyer because the appellate process is completely different. Now, while that civil case plays out, it's important to note it is separate from this criminal case. Moments ago, my colleague Grace White spoke with District Attorney Kim Ogg and the prosecutors in this case. Let's send it over to Grace now. Grace.
Thanks, Adam. We spent a few minutes with prosecutors talking about what this jury told them. They spent time with this jury after the verdict was read, talking to them about what convinced them to reach that guilty verdict. Those prosecutors telling us that all 12 plus 3 alternates, so 15 people total, were confident in this guilty verdict. They actually had flip charts, the prosecutors told us, hanging on the walls. And one of the first things they told prosecutors, they ruled out Josh Armstrong. He's A.J. Armstrong's brother and the one the defense painted as an alternate suspect. They also told prosecutors the 911 call, the test fire Armstrong did, and the manipulation of the crime scene all helped the jury reach their verdict, on top of the new blood evidence. Here's what DA Kim Ogg said just a few minutes ago.
Today, we've now seen what a murderer looks like. It can be anyone, and the fact that it was their own son is it's a trauma. It is a tragedy for the whole family.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Antonio Armstrong.
The DA was also asked about the time and resources that went into these 3 trials. She said you can't put a price on a life, and in this case, it was 2 lives. In fact, she told us back in the 90s there was another case that took 4 trials to finally get a guilty verdict. Live downtown, Grace White, KHOU 11 News.
The entire saga has lasted 7 years now. Grace White downtown and Adam Bennett, thank you. I spoke to KHOU 11 legal analyst Carmen Rowe a few minutes ago. She was in the courtroom for the closing arguments and had this to say about whether that civil lawsuit Adam talked about and claims of evidence tampering could have an impact on the appeal.
So, Lynn, the interesting thing about that lawsuit is a lot of people are concerned it may impact this criminal trial now that we have a conviction. But ultimately, I don't think that's going to be the case now that we know that this jury did not rely on that evidence and instead relied on a lot of other evidence that came in through demonstratives, through the prosecution that ultimately persuaded them to convict.
And this just in, the city of Houston says they have not been formally served with that lawsuit, but they have reviewed a courtesy copy sent to their legal department, and they're investigating the claims. We'll have more on this developing story on KHOU.com and, of course, tonight at 10.